Hello, investor judges.
Hi, John.
Welcome to the final pitch. Each of you collectively represent the past, the present, and the future of tech, not just in the Philippines, but in the region and in the globe. This has been a very challenging time for all of us, but now we are all ready to move on. Each of you played your roles to make sure that people, organizations, movements are able to get past these challenges and forge bigger paths towards progress, towards making sure we each all play a role in our collective nation rebuilding. Wei, coins represents the entire journey of the startup. You were once a startup, and now Coins is here on the show. You play a very critical role in how organizations, startups will be able to leverage off of technology. You are at the bleeding edge of Web3 and a lot of the buzzwords that people now say. This new journey that you're going to undertake because of the show, I'm sure will help a lot of startups who are out there, perhaps trying to forge a similar, if not different path from what you have done in the past year. So what are your expectations for the final pitch and the startups who will be pitching to you?
As a homegrown startup here in the Philippines, we at Coins.ph want to support more homegrown startups here. And that's why I'm here at the final pitch to find the projects that we can support, not just in terms of leveraging on our platform with our millions of users, but also to bring my personal knowledge about digital assets, about blockchain to the startups here in the Philippines, to really bring them not just sort of to the national stage here, but eventually groom them to sort of to the global stage as well.
Francis, not too long ago, you were a startup pitching to Y Combinator, and I am happy to have you now join us on the show as an investor judge. The road has been difficult for you, I'm sure, but now you're ready to, I guess, give back. And I know that you've been looking for startups, not just to invest in, but to help scale as you have. And now you're looking for a very specific breed of startups. Tell me about that.
As a company whose mission is to help businesses, especially small and medium businesses and startups, go online, I am privileged to have this opportunity to meet a lot of founders, especially the young founders who are just starting out to build, especially in this hard and difficult times. I would say as a founder who have seen through how hard it is to actually start a company and scale to this level, I look forward to meeting a lot of these new founders and help them get through the very early stages of their company and help them think through how to get from pre-seed to seed stage and even beyond.
Going even beyond is something that you, John Jay, are very familiar with. You have spearheaded the fintech arm of the Union Bank with UBX. You were employee number 1, and you are now here joining us as a second-time judge. You've been here before, and we've had you on the show giving brilliant advice to these startups who've come on board. Now, I want to know what is different from your participation before and what you're expecting now from the startups who will be pitching to you.
Well, John, at UBX, we believe that technology is the great leveler. It allows the small guy to do everything, maybe even more than the biggest guy. But also, as the Philippines' leading open finance platform, we also believe that technology is the path to financial inclusion. So at UBX, we have a platform, whether it be technology to help those pitching, to accelerate the delivery of their vision, to include financial services in the technology they're building. We're really looking forward to partnering with them so they can play their part in bringing truly inclusive prosperity to the Philippines.
Rose, welcome back. You've been here before. We had you on our last season, which was our virtual edition. Wilcon has been tremendous in terms of growth in the stock market. You have been a great success story. And now you're here on the final pitch. Hopefully, a lot who will be pitching to you will also benefit from your mentorship on the show. You have been instrumental to many industries, many organizations, highly respect you. And now you join us once again on the final pitch. I'd like to know, what can the startups expect from you, Rose, this time around?
Thank you, John. Good to be back. That was very generous of you. Anyway, the big idea is that I'm looking forward to startup companies, to scale up, just like the story of Wilcon. I'm looking forward to, small companies growing into large companies, and that I'll be able to give them access to market, access to my network, and also at the same time inspire and encourage them on how to be successful in their business. This is a very diverse team, and I'm very, very honored to be with all these, movers and shakers of different industries. And to be part of this team really is an honor, and I hope that we'll be able to inspire more people. I look forward to meeting the startups.
Amor, I have known you for millennia. You've been part of so many industries as someone who once specialized in this very critical industry of PR, but you have gone so far beyond that. You are a movement maker, you are a leader who has transitioned from your expertise to now involving so many industries in tech with Digital Pilipinas. I'd like to know, Amor, among your many hats, what hat will you be wearing on the show? And specifically, what kind of support can the startups expect from you in the various advocacies that you empower throughout your career, your business, and life?
I take the seeds of movement making that we started in Kaiser Maklang and bring it forward to what is now the largest private sector-led movement for teching up the country, which is Digital Pilipinas. John, there's never been a better time to be a Filipino and to be Asian, to be ASEAN than now. The past 3 weeks, I was in 6 countries promoting Digital Pilipinas, and the excitement for the region has really been palpable. I look forward to talking not just to startups, but also to legacy businesses, and have them see that technology is not just a vertical, but rather a horizontal.
So Avin, you're one of the most successful young entrepreneurs we have in the country today. You have built a food empire, mostly from bringing in something that is from a foreign entity. Now I posed a challenge to you once. I asked, would you like, Avin, to make your first billion selling flavored tea, or would you like to earn it helping the Philippines' next unicorn? Do you have an answer for that challenge now?
Yes, John. You know what? Selling flavored milk tea during the pandemic gives people that sense of normalcy, but I think and I believe it's sweeter to support the Philippines' next unicorn. So I would love to do both. We're gonna support them during this show and earn the next billion together.
Investors, it is my honor and privilege to have the 6 of you here join us in our first tech edition. I'm looking forward to bringing to you these startups who are all excited, not just to meet with you, but to work with you. Hopefully the partnerships that will be forged on this show this season will be long-lasting, and I hope that you're able to complement the businesses of each other, because as we know, cooperation is the key, and working together is going to be critical in how we progress in the next years, if not decades and generations. I hope you walk away from this show backing the next Philippine startup unicorn. So investors, if you're ready, the final pitch begins now.
Up next,
Pursue something so important that even if you fail, the world is a better place for you having tried.
If you're clear about your goal and where you want to bring your business to in terms of how you wanted to market it, it will spell itself out for you.
before the official start of the pitches, the entrepreneurs went through a mentorship bootcamp at the Dragon's Nest studio, the HQ of the final pitch.
Hello, entrepreneurs. Hi, John. Welcome to Dragon's Nest, the HQ of the final pitch. So today is going to be a special day because we have mentors who will be guiding you in your journey towards making your final pitch. And this season, we are joined by two very well-known and expert mentors who will be guiding you in startup pitching, in startup life, and also in how you're able to navigate the digital realm, which you are all now facing. I know that some of you, your startups were actually born during the pandemic, and personally for me, I also took a mini journey during this pandemic So 6 months into the lockdown, the world's biggest publishing company, Penguin Random House, offered to publish my book, The Art and Science of the Pitch. So the book is the ultimate playbook to pitching to partners, investors, and in this case, to reality TV shows. I've interviewed experts from around the world, from Silicon Valley, from Europe, from around Asia, and of course, our successful startups and investors here in the Philippines. So your mentor is one of the best advocates of the startup ecosystem here in the country. Entrepreneurs, please help me welcome Coach Artie.
Thank you, John. Good morning, entrepreneurs. Good morning. All right, I hope you guys are ready because today we are going to learn about how to pitch your startup. So now let's all discuss why are we here today? What is pitching? And I know that a lot of people might actually think that it's a complicated or a sophisticated concept, but really it's not. And I think I can prove that to you. Pitching is simply convincing someone about something. Now, let's get to the meat of the things. How do we pitch? And today, what we are going to talk about are 3 things. Let's start off with the first question. Whenever you go up front into an audience, when you even in a class or in an office when you have to present to everyone, and you're feeling shy, you're feeling embarrassed. For example, if you go to a job interview and there's 2 of you, if someone was more confident when they took the interview, there's a higher probability that person gets the job. So this is something that is already generally known, that our body language affects how other people think and feel about us. If you are not feeling so confident, if you're not feeling so powerful, if you're feeling a little stressed, what do? John, show me what we're supposed to do. Okay, we look for a corner and then we just do a power pose. So you can just stand like Wonder Woman, stay there for like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and I promise your hormones will change and you'll feel more confident and more powerful. Okay? Good job. All right. So now, the next part of our session, one of the things that I hear from founders is that they actually don't know if a pitch is good or bad. Let me try and help you understand that a little bit more today. A great pitch will always tell a story. Okay? Now, who can tell me who this person is? Come on. George R.R. Martin, one of the greatest storytellers of our time. He's such a great storyteller. The world literally waited every single Monday morning in the Philippines for the next episode of Game of Thrones. That is the power of a great story. It creates a lasting memory, something that we'll remember through time. Everybody knows that a story more or less has really 3 parts, a beginning, a middle, and an end. This may sound simple and basic, but honestly, in our pitches, and a lot of founders actually make this mistake, they don't follow this setup. They always have a great start, but they forget to have a middle and they forget to have an end. In fact, the thing I hate the most is when you end your pitch with, "That's it, thank you." Worst way to end the pitch. In fact, I deduct points from founders in competitions when they end that way. Why? Because literally the last thing you said was, "That's it." So the last thing in my mind is, "That's it?" So you don't want to end that way. You want to end by reiterating and reinforcing the value proposition of what you're doing. So in the beginning, if you can, talk about it being personal, meaning why are you solving this problem? Of all of the problems in the world, of all of the things that you could be doing, why is this the one you're doing? Why is this the thing that you're working on? Number 2, what is the pain point or problem that you're trying to solve? Number 3, whose problem is it? That's basically your target market. Who are you solving it for? And then the middle could be your solution. What is it that you are building to solve this problem? Number 2, very important, is it worth it? That is your business model. That makes me know that you are working on a business, not an expensive hobby. The unfair advantage. What is unfair advantage? Unfair advantage is something that makes you better, that cannot be easily copied or bought. Last, people always want to know who are the people behind the company and why are they the best people to solve that problem. Put you and your team on the slides. Number 2, what is your current status? Is it an idea? Have you launched a product? Do you have customers? Is it a prototype? Let me know. And then lastly, and one of the most important is, what do you need? Why are you pitching? Because if you don't explicitly tell me or explain why you are pitching, you're just going to be wasting both our time. So that's what you want to do. That's how you end strong. So you start strong, you end strong. All right, so before I end, I want to share a quote that I really believed in. It changed my life. I hope it changes yours as well. Pursue something so important that even if you fail, the world is a better place for you having tried. Okay, thank you very much. Any questions? Yep, yes.
Sir, our company actually is a B2B company, but the recipient and the main problem we want to solve is for the students. We're actually a learning management system, so we want to partner with schools, but our recipients are the students. So we want to know which problem should we present on our pitch deck. Is it the problem of the school as they want to teach their students, or problem of the student while they're learning for each class that they have?
Okay, it's like a marketplace, no? And in marketplace, there's always two parties. You have the buyer and then the seller. And you're the middleman, right? So in that kind of scenario, usually, I prefer to show both sides of the equation. If you want, depending on who you're pitching to, that's where you focus more. But you have to present both sides because otherwise, it will seem lacking. Show both sides, but if you want to focus on the problem of one side more because that's who you're pitching or presenting to, then do that. Again, thank you so much, everybody, for your time. Thank you for listening. It's been a wonderful opportunity for me to be able to talk to you guys here today. And I wish all of you guys here good luck on your journey as being a startup founder. Okay? Good job, everyone.
Hello, entrepreneurs. Hi, John. So as you all know, because of this pandemic, most, if not all industries have had to go online. So our next mentor is going to teach you ways by which to leverage off of digital media for business growth. He is the managing director of Streamlined campaigns. Entrepreneurs, please help me welcome Kaiser Estrada.
Hi entrepreneurs, good afternoon. So for today, we'll be discussing leveraging on digital media for business growth. So gone are the days already prior to the pandemic, no? Most of the physical stores, digital media was just a by the way because they have, a lot of foot traffic in their stores coming in. But come pandemic, they already appreciated the power of digital media, of how you can connect to your customers through digital media. And so, by connecting, what does that mean? It is a strategic effort to create relationships beyond the initial transaction. So nowadays, consumers are wanting, a connection to a brand. It's not just on a transactional level. And how do you build that? By creating an awesome customer experience, right? From the first touch point of talking to them to actually getting them as clients, that's an entire experience for them that's connecting and not just transactional. The digital ecosystems, as businesses, we want to strongly position ourselves in the digital space. But how can we do this? First, we need to understand the landscape that we're trying to work with. So on your screen right now is a digital cheat sheet that can serve as a guide to consider what would best fit your brand's purpose. So there are 5 branches you need to consider. The first is digital channel identification. You need to understand the platforms that you're working with and what would serve best for your brand. Would it be LinkedIn? Would it be Facebook, Instagram, YouTube? The second branch to consider is the e-commerce channels. So if you're mostly, doing product with your business, you might want to consider, of course, Lazada, Shopee, or your own e-commerce website. But nowadays, even the biggest FMCG brands are already present in Lazada and Shopee because Filipinos have already adapted to, the digital shopping experience. Now the next step is to formulate your digital media strategies. Your digital media strategy depends on which platforms you're using. So it could be different media buying strategies. For example, display ads or search engine ads for Google, or targeting and retargeting ads for social platforms such as Facebook and Instagram. You might also want to do lead generation campaigns, surveys and polls, email campaigns, and or loyalty program. All right, and lastly, creation of content for your brand. It could be a collaboration for key opinion leaders, KOLs, or influencers. It could be PR release on online news channels, reviews about your products or services, branded content, and what I've mentioned earlier, user-generated content. All of this could look like a bunch of things. It looks like a lot, but don't worry. When you get used to it, it still looks a lot. But if you're clear about your goal and where you want to bring your business to in terms of how you wanted to market it, it will spell itself out for you. All right, so that ends my presentation. Thank you so much, entrepreneurs. And the floor is now open for questions. Yes.
We've been marketing our products in EU, but we have problems with data collection as well as how we can use data because of privacy. How do we go about it, and which platform should we use?
That's a hard question. What you can do is try to target, say for example, if you're doing Instagram or Facebook ads, redefine your objectives. So make conversations with them more rather than putting up a lead list for them to fill out, because sometimes that's not allowed. But if you make a conversation with them, instead of leads, your objective would be more on messages. It has been a blast. Thank you, entrepreneurs, and good luck on your pitches.
Up next,
Now, this is day one of the pitches, so I'll call in the first entrepreneur.
It's really unclear to me who your customer is.
Your value proposition is a bit confused.
I'm looking for people who are razor focused on what they hope to accomplish with their solution.
I hope to find those entrepreneurs who are driven but also are coachable and help them build their own startup along the way.
We're definitely looking for founders who are pitching ideas that really share in our vision of opportunity and access for all.
Our goal really here is to help these entrepreneurs to become the next big company in our country.
I'm looking for leaders, not just to invest in, but also leaders to believe in.
I believe that I am the best partner for startups. I want to be able to help them bring all these ideas to become reality.
Hello, investor judges. Welcome to day one of the pitches. It's very interesting to see the six of you here with us today. Wei and Francis, the two of you represent former startups. Now you are on the other side of the coin, pun intended. So I sense a friendly rivalry going on here. So Wei, what do you think of Francis? And Francis, what do you think of Wei?
I think, first of all, both he and I have a lot in common in that we've been on the other side of the coin in terms of actually trying to raise capital from investors. But I think from a rivalry perspective, we're both here to hunt for the next, amazing technology company that we can put our company's resources behind to support and to grow.
Feel the same way?
Yeah, definitely. I think we're going to be collaborating a lot more here than actually competing in any way. Yeah.
Let's see about that. So John, you're laughing like someone who's been there, done that. Of course, you have been here on the show. So what is going on in your mind right now?
Yeah, well, I think, John, it's a great time to be in tech. So I'm looking forward to hearing the pitches. So I think if they've done their homework, they will stand out.
Rose, a long time ago, Wilcon was once a startup as well. And now you are going to be listening to a few who have the potential to possibly maybe even grow as big as what Wilcon is now.
So it's all about, listening to their stories. Every business starts from small. So let's see. I'd like to listen to entrepreneurs who can, tell their story.
So Rose, you mentioned story, Amor. You're a master at storytelling. And I'm sure a lot of the entrepreneurs coming into this pitch would also like to be able to know how to best craft their own story.
I am on the lookout for a most compelling founder story because you, at the end of the day, invest in people. The second story that I hope to craft, I'm looking for tech startups who have the appetite to weave the narrative of a digital Pilipinas.
Avin, you have expressed numerous times to the public your desire to take your company, the Fredly Group, outside of the Philippines.
Yeah, so we're looking for somebody who can change the game, somebody who is as hungry as we are, and we look forward to bringing the business, their pitches, not just here in the Philippines but also outside the country.
Now, this is day one of the pitches. The ones who will be pitching to you come from a diverse range of businesses, industries, even background stories are just simply amazing. I'm very excited to bring them all to you today. So I'll call in the first entrepreneur.
Opening up day one of the pitches is a motorcycle enthusiast who grew up around her parents' auto supply business and aims to bring the world of automotive parts into one digital platform.
Hi, Jonica.
Hi, John. How are you?
I'm good. So at 23, you ventured and put up your own business, and now you're here pitching your startup.
We're very excited to show the investors how we revolutionize the automotive retail industry.
Set the bar high because this is the tech edition, and you personify what this whole show and this series, this edition is all about. So good luck.
Of course. I'll do my best. Thank you so much. Hi investors, I'm Jonica and I'm the CEO of Piazza. We are raising $250,000 in a post-money safe with a 20% discount and a 1.2 million valuation cap. My family is in the automotive retail industry for 30 years, where I was able to help my father manage one of his auto parts retail stores. The pandemic struck, and I saw the struggle that I had in my parents' businesses, and lesser people are visiting their stores. So I thought of a way to help my parents, and with my experience and skills as a digital marketing strategist, I was able to help them put up their products online because they don't know how to. I saw their sales doubled. The main challenge for these automotive stores is one auto parts store has more than 5,000 to 50,000 SKUs. What we aim is to have a Piazza Power Up where we can put the whole automotive world in a power of just one tap. We have a very simple revenue model where we take out 10 to 30% commission from our merchants and our distributors. Join us as we reimagine the auto industry's future today. Thank you so much. Let me invite my co-founder on the stage, Olivia Escartin.
Can I shoot the first question?
Sure.
Actually, we're both in retail, and retail is very close to my heart. So you manage your own website?
Yes.
Do you have inventories? Do you have exclusivity on products?
We have an algorithm that we actually are currently designing on how we will have preferences on the products. So we do have distributors and vendors at the same time.
Is the profit margin that good to the point that after deducting 30% commission, businesses would still get their target profit?
We're very lucky that we're in the automotive parts industry is because one part has a huge basket size. So if we're talking about truck parts, truck tires, one tire will cost you 10,000 to 45,000. And what is that 30% and 20% of that?
Okay, so if I am a business owner, why will I have to sell it in your platform if I can actually go directly to the customer?
Like, for example, distributors and importers, they don't sell themselves. They find retailers to sell products for them.
I feel like you guys need to reposition your pitch because all you're doing is just consolidating the supply side, right? If you're going to build a marketplace, which is what you're trying to build, right, you have to think of the demand side as well, right? Which is, I think, where all of us are coming from.
We do have a demand side. So we started with a B2B because we need a high demand. Logistics businesses are now signed up with us as to be the go-to buying of our parts.
Your value proposition, to put it very kindly, is a bit confused. The Philippines is not a DIY market, I assure you. It's a DNY, do nothing yourself market. Seriously. The challenge in what you're saying is you kind of lack focus. I mean, if you're a car owner, you're fiercely loyal to the casa of your Mercedes or your Volvo. Motorcycles are different, and you're kind of like lumping them together. I think you need to build your community and create better focus.
Mobility, great space, huge market.
Agree.
There's something to this idea of helping people get online, but it's really unclear to me who your customer is.
Sorry, not for me, but I can give you access to Wilcon. We have 76 store footprint all over the Philippines. Yeah, you can be a supplier if you want.
Amazing.
I'd also like to connect you to the motorcycle community. We're very plugged in. We advise some of the biggest two-wheels platforms in the country. Yeah, maybe consider Focus.
On PayMongo side, more than happy to help you guys think through the technology, but also enable you guys to power your payments once you get there, especially when you're starting building the application that you're thinking.
Thank you so much, guys. It's really a pleasure being here with you guys. It's such an honor to be in Final Pitch. Thank you. We're very happy. I mean, it's not all the time that we get to meet investors like them, and simply just being here is life-changing for us.
They're trying to go for an e-commerce mobility play, and yet I really didn't hear anything about the supply chain. And Rose, you're the queen of retail.
I got confused.
And I agree with you, John
They
Jay.
want to be all over the place.
With what you said, who is your customer? Are you B2B? Are you B2C? And you can't be everything for everyone.
You seem to kind of
She
go
wants to be everywhere.
a little bit all over the place.
It's the F word, John Jay. Say it. The F word. Focus. That's what they're lacking. Yeah.
Next time on The Final Pitch, we get up close and personal with Francis Plaza, the man behind the fast-rising e-wallet payment gateway, PayMongo. And day one of the pitches continues.
I'm here today looking to raise 500,000 USD. But before you pull out your checkbooks, I want to give more context about what we do at ChatGenie.
To be honest with you, I'm quite interested.
I get that you're putting off the valuation, but it's very hard to negotiate.
If you accept John Jay, I'm in.
Yeah, let's give him a chance.